superstition I talked about was telling the bees, which was the belief that if you had beehives and you didn't tell the bees when someone died, then they would fly away and that you would lose your livelihood because of it. And this one was of particular interest to me because my husband's a beekeeper. We actually have beehives. We did not tell our bees at the time that all this happened. And interestingly, they did fly away that year. And there's lots of reasons why they could have. But these superstitions are interesting to me because I'm not a superstitious person. I'm a person that kind of believes in God's sovereign presence over the universe. But what I think these superstitions speak to is the very palpable fear that we experience in the wake of death. And this, death is really, for most of human history, has been quite a mystery. In America and 21st century, we can name a cause of death, we can do autopsy, we have germ theory, we tend to know why people die. But 100 years ago and before, there were many times you had no idea why someone had died. And so this mystery and this unknown realm of this precipice between life and death conjured a lot of fear in people. And so sometimes a superstition was just, to me, an act of agency, like the one thing you can do to kind of try to control your outcomes. And so to me, I think what they taught me was that you don't have to fear the mystery as much as maybe people who didn't know God or didn't trust God, whatever. You don't have to have that fear, but it is okay to name the reality that things are still out of your control. As much control as we think we may have in modern Western day America, as much knowledge as we have, death is still a mystery, and life is still very precarious, and it's okay to name that, and to kind of I don't know, understand that, and understand that that's what you're experiencing. The only other one I'll mention that I thought was really interesting, that to me was really the ritual that started me on the journey, was the practice of keening, with Irish keening. And keening is wailing aloud at funerals. And we see that a lot in biblical times. Again, that's another practice we see all over the world. We do not see that here in Western America, because it's kind of seen as unhinged or lacking in decorum. And so it's the Irish in the olden days, they specifically made place at the wake. They made a time at the wake where these lead keeners, these women in the community, would come and lead the whole room in this rambunctious, boisterous wail, just to kind of let people fall apart, to give them permission to fall apart. And these are just things I think that are necessary and needed in our culture today.